The quiet exit. The slow unraveling. Mara sat on the edge of the bed, staring at her reflection in the bedroom mirror. The woman looking back at her didn't feel like herself. She was 38 but felt 60, with hair that had dulled in color and eyes that had lost their glimmer. The room behind her, once warm with shared dreams, felt like a mausoleum. Silent, cold, stuck. She and Adam had been together for 14 years, married for 11. The first few years had been beautiful in their chaos, late-night takeouts on the floor of their first apartment, spontaneous weekend trips, and endless conversations about nothing and everything. They were that couple the one others envied. But now, Mara couldn't remember the last time Adam looked at her with any real interest, let alone love. They spoke, yes, but only in logistical terms. Bills, groceries, his schedule, her meetings. The softness had disappeared. In its place was a routine that felt more like survival than partnership. And worse, Mara could feel her spirit draining. She wasn't just unhappy, she was disappearing. The breaking point. It was a Thursday night when things snapped. She had come home late from work, exhausted, after pulling a double shift at the ad agency. She had texted Adam earlier to see if he could start dinner, something simple. He never responded. When she walked through the door, the house was dark. He was in the living room, gaming with headphones on, pizza box open beside him. He looked up only briefly and said, "Hey," before returning to his screen. "No. How was your day?" No mention of dinner. She stood in the doorway, watching him. And in that moment, it wasn't rage, she felt it was grief. A deep, shattering grief. As though she were mourning a death. The death of something she had tried so hard to keep alive. That night, she cried in the bathroom, quietly, for nearly an hour. Then she made a decision. She was going to start saving herself. At first, it was small things. She signed up for a Saturday morning pottery class at a studio downtown, something she'd always wanted to try. Then, she rejoined the gym. She started journaling every night, asking herself real questions. What do I want? Who am I when I'm not somebody's wife? She stopped bending to Adam's moods. If he was in one of his cold silences, she no longer tried to fix it. If he ignored her, she let him. The emotional labor she had carried alone for years was no longer hers to bear, he noticed. Eventually, "Are you seeing someone?" he asked one night, half joking, half not, as she returned home from the studio. "No," she said, calmly. "But I'm seeing me again." That confused him, then irritated him. The manipulation. For a while he tried harder. He cooked once, asked her about her day, even suggested a weekend away, but it didn't last. It became clear to Mara that Adam wasn't interested in real connection, he was interested in the appearance of one. When he realized she wasn't easily pulled back in, he began subtly undermining her again. "You spend more time at that studio than at home. Why are you always so tired? What's the point of all this self-discovery stuff? You're not 20. And yet, Mara didn't retreat. She made new friends in her class. She found herself laughing more, sleeping better. Her creativity returned. She began sketching again, something she hadn't done since college. She went to therapy. And one night, in a session, she finally said it. "I don't think I want to stay." When she told Adam, he didn't yell. He didn't cry. He just sat there, silent. "I've been seeing someone," he said flatly, "for about 6 months." It hit her like a wave, half expected, half not. The ache was immediate, but strangely clean. She didn't fall apart. She looked at him for a long moment and said simply, "Thank you, that makes this easier." He was startled. He expected anger, tears, some kind of begging. But she had nothing left to give him. In the weeks that followed, things moved fast. She found a small apartment a few blocks from the river. It wasn't much, a tiny one-bedroom, creaky floors, but it was hers. The day she moved in, she sat on the bare floor, surrounded by boxes in silence, and felt peace for the first time in years. There were hard days, moments of loneliness, financial anxiety, even guilt, but there were also moments of triumph. The first time she hosted friends in her own space, the first sale of her artwork on Etsy, the first time she caught her reflection and saw someone alive. Adam reached out once, around month 4. A text. "I miss you. You were right about me. I wasn't really there." She stared at it, then deleted it. A year passed. Then 2. Mara had built something new. A life centered on curiosity, creativity, connection. She hadn't dated much, but she had loved herself fiercely. Her days were filled with small rituals. Morning tea on the balcony, weekend hikes, letters to her younger self. She met someone eventually, kind, patient, self-aware. But it wasn't a fairy tale. It was messy and real, and she was whole enough now to welcome that. On her 40th honest birthday, she stood by the river, where the wind smelled of spring and new things, and whispered, "I'm not lost anymore."